Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth. I go by the username Be More Creative both here on YouTube and on Instagram. So I am here with a different kind of video, and I have no idea if this video is really echoey at the moment. I have just moved into my new flat. So I arrived on late Monday night. My stuff came on Tuesday. It's currently Thursday morning. I still haven't unpacked everything, but I have really wanted to try giving vlogging a go, and I don't know what this video is going to be like. I don't know what is even really happening in this video, but I thought I would just turn the camera on and film a little intro and let's see how things go, because I'm really looking forward to kind of vlogging and doing different things with the YouTube and seeing how things go. I love video editing. I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy it and I do want to continue to learn, and part of that learning is putting myself out there and trying a little bit more. So I will be just grabbing clips throughout the next few days and we will just see what is going on. So hopefully you get to see this video. If not, this will just be a deleted clip that I have filmed. But let's jump in and see what happens over the next few days, and I'm going to take you along with me as I start my new life here in Cumbria. So I've just got back from having a lovely little wander around my local area, and oh my gosh, it is stunning. It's so nice to just have a little wander around, start to see. By no means have I seen a lot of the area, but I did find this gorgeous vase in a local charity shop, absolutely stunning. And then on my way back, I stopped into the florist and did something that I haven't done before, where I picked myself up a bouquet of flowers. So she picked out these flowers for me, which is really good because she worked with me, so I knew what would set off my hay fever and what wouldn't. And I think it's absolutely stunning, and I'm so glad I did it. And it's sometimes nice to just treat yourself. So I've come back, I've lit my candles, and while I was out, she mentioned that over in a local area, local town, is Sedbergh Sheep Fest this weekend. She said that there's a local artisanal market and there is a kind of wall fair going on where loads of local dyers come into play. It's Thursday lunchtime. I have this really, it's a few years old now, it's a Primark just crew jumper. Now it needs a little bit of love. There are a few little holes in it. It's a little bit bobbly, but you know what? I am going to do something around sheep on this jumper. Now, I love having items on my jumpers anyway. I tend to buy, so I'm wearing like a Primark hoodie today. It's a plain hoodie. This will end up with something on it. I really like having cross stitch onto jumpers. I love it when people knit and crochet jumpers, but I can't knit and crochet, but I can cross stitch. So this video is going to be, I don't know how this video is going to go, probably a little bit of snippets here, there and everywhere. But I've got this jumper. I have got a box of different fibres. I don't know where there's, oh no, there is yellow in here. So how I organise my threads. So these aren't my cross stitch threads. My cross stitch threads are organised in in multiple different organisation ways. If you want to see, let me know and I can include that in another video. This is just all my embroidery threads. Now I organise mine in colourways, so this is neutrals, browns, yellows and oranges in this box. I do have another box which is like purples, pinks and reds, and then another one which is blues and greens. But these are just these are Amazon version of the IKEA Calyx canvas ones, and in here I literally have a bit of everything. I have a random week's dye works. This shouldn't be in here, but it is. When I've gone to different shows, so I have a Paintbox Threads Perlé 12. I have the Eileen Designs threads in a variety of different colours. I have Whisper thread. I have pearl threads. I have like random gorgeous trims. But this is really just a box full of different types of threads and things that I use for my embroidery. So what I thought is I am going to be doing this jumper, and what I did was while I was out yesterday sitting, I was just out and about, I sat down on a bench after she told me about it, and I just sketched up in my dot grid notebook these little two sheep patterns. Now this one you're... So here we are jumping in to my first voiceover. So I am simply taking that design that I created in my notebook and I am using just some grid paper. Now, because I decided against going cross stitch and having it up close, I've decided to do embroidery crosses, but I still want to mark out my page. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this design. Now, what I have found out is the second sheep that I didn't bother doing the center part. I just outlined the edge because the cross stitches really aren't going to be perfect, and that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that kind of embroidered look but using crosses. So I've got to pick out my threads, and I love this part. This is one of my favorite parts. It's just digging through these boxes. Some people ask why I don't organize things as clearly, but I do have them organized by color, and I've decided to try this whisper thread. Now I picked this up for cross stitch. I haven't used it in cross stitch, but I thought it would go with the look that I was trying to do. And now all I'm going to do is I've got loads of this carbon copy paper. I love this stuff for so many different things, but I use it mainly for transferring. So I'm just going to tape this using Scotch Magic Tape so it doesn't damage the jumper at all, and I'm just going to outline the crosses. Now, this is where I would change it to make it a little bit quicker. I would just outline certain crosses, and I'm just using that with the Bic Biro. So I would just do the outline so I know where to go, and then the middle you could just fill in. But as you can see here, I have filled in every single one, and I just love the way that carbon paper looks after you have used it. And don't worry about any marks on the edges, they will come off nice and easily. One thing I forgot to say is I did just put in a notebook, which was the same notebook I was using at the beginning, to outline it. Now, not very good at vlogging, I forgot to hit record, but all I'm doing is just simply doing a cross over the top of the crosses that I have drawn. And I am using a nerd hoop. Now, I do recommend putting your fabric into a nerd hoop if you're going to stitch on a jumper. It's quite a bulky material and you need to be able to stretch it out, and it's just so much easier to do so. So I'm just simply doing the crosses, and how I finish each of my crosses when I get to the end of the thread is I am just going to go underneath multiple times. Now, I'm not tying knots. I will be putting interfacing on the back of this. You don't actually see this in this process.
So here we go. This is the finished stitching. So I decided to do kind of embroidery crosses rather than cross stitch where it is like perfectly spaced. I just didn't think it would look the best for this design. I wanted something a little bit open and airy. You can still see you can still see that they're sheep. However, it's a little bit more open. So I am going to wash this tonight and I will show it to you when it's completely finished. I've just had dinner. I did curry pasta, and now I'm just going to carry on stitching my Animal Cracker Lily, who I got to the point of just filling before I travelled. I didn't actually stitch that much while travelling, but this is just such a good and easy piece to stitch when I don't want to have to count, and that's where I'm at this evening. I just don't want to have to focus on anything. So I have put on The Crow Girl on Paramount Plus. I'm really enjoying this. I'm only on the second episode, but I'm already hooked to it. And then I have got my favourite snack. This is my move-in treat. So even though I haven't fully finished unpacking, I still have 2 boxes in here and then this like bathroom bits. But the thing is, I need to get some storage to be able to unpack the things into. So I'm going to treat myself and open my moving present to myself. and I'm just going to sit and stitch and watch my program for a bit.
Good morning. So it is Saturday the 23rd of August and it is time to head to Sheepfest. Now, Sheepfest, I've never been before. It's held in Sedbergh, which is not too far from where I've just moved to. And it's apparently a sheep and wool fair. So I'm going to go and have a look. There's a little artisanal market. There is wool suppliers, things like that. So we're going to go and have a look and just see what the community event is about. I did finish my jumper. I really love how it turned out. I wanted it very kind of casual. So I have used like a very old jumper, just using up what I have. And then I did embroidery cross stitch rather than actual cross stitch. So rather than a tight knit weave, I've got a lot of like open space. You can clearly see every cross. They're not the same size, but that's the vibe that I wanted to go for. Before I go out, I did manage to finish up Lily last night, and I love the conversion that I did. I used Cottage Garden threads for this, and I absolutely love how that turned out. So that is one cross stitch finish. Well, I guess two if you count the jumper, but let's go and explore and see what we can find at the Sedbergh Sheepfest. So I've just got in from Sedbergh Sheepfest and I've had a really fun day actually. It was quite nice walking around, and I'm not entirely sure what footage I have, so I will possibly overlay footage if there is any. There was quite a lot of woodwork, there was quite a lot of like wood etchings, there was some really nice resin woodwork pieces, and I really enjoyed walking around. I didn't really pick up anything woodwork based. There was a few things that I really liked, but I'm not really set up enough in the flat yet to kind of know what I want or places to put things. So I didn't get anything like that this time. I did, however, get a lot of the wool. So how it worked was in the main part of town, on their like little main street, they had a few vendors. So I did pick up a cheese and onion sourdough. I've not actually tried sourdough bread, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I also had a really nice like pork and stuffing and applesauce bun. I really enjoyed that for lunch. That was really nice. I actually went back in the later part of the afternoon, but unfortunately they'd already sold out and gone. So, and so had the sourdough lady. She ended up only being there for a few hours before everything sold, which is great news for her. I then walked up to, I think it's called the People's Hall, which is where they had the wall vendors. It was really nice because there was like an orchestra there. There was like an orchestra in town, and there was an orchestra up at the People's Hall. And there was a lot of different vendors. But once again, I really have no idea what footage I got. There was a lady called Lara's Looms, and she had the most gorgeous loom work blankets and things like that. I fell in love with some of the pieces she has, and she does have them on her website, so I will list everything down below. But I really am in a state where I'm not really sure what I need for the flat, and I didn't really want to get something when I haven't decided colorways and things. But what I did pick up from her is I picked up, these were 75p each, and it is the scraps. So these are like woven scraps, but I do enjoy, as you've seen before when I went to the knit and stitching show, I picked up like some balls of off-cut wool. These are really good if you're doing, you can do like bracelets, and the bracelets I do with these, I have a friend whose daughter has quite a few different mental health related things, and she really struggles in the classroom. She struggles in like around people and in crowds. So I made a really thin, like this kind of width bracelet, and put on there like buttons and little pieces of elastic cord that she could kind of twiddle and fiddle with. Put some beads on there. I also got some crinkle fabric and just put a patch on there, some sequin fabric, put some on there, and she could just twiddle and fiddle with it, and really did work wonders for her, and she absolutely loves them. So every now and then I do make a few for my friends, send them down, but my friend asked if I could do some more for the school. The school actually asked her where they're from, and I am going to be making a few of those and sending those down to the school. So when I saw these, I thought these were really good, but also I just love the colorways. I was very into like autumn colorways and heels. I don't know if I've got some clips, but as I was walking around Sedbergh, there's just so many beautiful landscapes. So I thought this would be really nice for a landscape. So I picked up 4 of those. I then stopped at, I think it's called Blots. And once again, I will list them down below. And they had a lot of hand-dyed materials. So a lot of like plant-based materials, a lot of different hand-dyeing like powders. But what drew me to them was their little knickknacks, their little wood texture things. I absolutely love these little lot of tags. This was £2 for a lot of 4 tags, and they just say made with love. They got 2 holes so you could sew them onto your pieces. And then I got 2 of these. I can't remember the name of these, but these are for making the bracelets. I'm actually going to use them for cording to go on to like my finished pieces, my finished stitching pieces. I have one of these made out of cardboard myself years ago, but these I think were £2 each, and they're like MDF wood. But I thought those would be quite cool, different size cordings that I could make with those. So I picked up that one as well. Now, the last stand is where I bought the most amount of stuff from, and unfortunately she doesn't have a website. She used to have a website, she doesn't do it anymore. She now just sells in like the local area, but it is Jeanette and Bluebell, and I just got so many things. She was like, out of the stand there was so many beautiful stands, and as you know, I don't knit, I don't crochet. I do embroidery, but it's mainly cross stitch. But I do love kind of dabbling in sewing and other stitching projects, which is what a lot of this is probably going to be used for. But for that, I'm not going to spend £20 on one skein of something, and hers was just so well priced. So this is 100 grams of hand-dyed, hand-wash. I cannot read what that says, but it was £9 in this gorgeous blue colorway. It's just so soft. Once again, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with that. It comes on a really thick wooden bobbin, which I thought was good because then I could reuse the bobbin afterwards. Then I got her textured wool. I fell in love with this colorway. It just says textured wool. It's 100 grams again, and this one was £6. And you can pull this apart, but I am actually wondering if I was to cut this down to make a wall hanging and like stitch it back together and then hand embroider over the top. I thought this was just really pretty. It's very bright. It's a very bright colorway for me, especially because there is like this neon yellow in here. This is wool. It's an acrylic blend. You can gentle machine wash it, 100 grams. It was £8. I just loved the texture of this. I wasn't thinking, I'm not thinking as a knitter or a crocheter. It's something she said to me. She was like, oh, what are you going to knit with them? And I said, I'm not. I'm going to use it in my hand embroidery. I might use it in a weaving piece. It's just more for that reason that I picked it up. I didn't really go for such a colourway, but I have worked out that I have gone, except for this one. This one is out of the colourway, but everything else is either in this kind of mauvey tones or in like the blue-green colourway. I absolutely loved this. This is Superwash Merino, hand-dyed. It's £12 for 100 grams, but look at that colourway. Just absolutely stunning. Once again, no idea what I'm going to do with this. I just absolutely fell in love with the colourway and it is so soft. I may actually have to talk to my sister and see if she could do anything with that, because I absolutely love this. I just don't know as of yet what I'm going to do with it, but I couldn't pass it up at all. Then I got Chevrolet wool, hand dyed. This was £8 for 100 grams. I thought this kind of went with this colourway. Once again, I just love the texture of it. I do tend to find that I go for a lot of textured things. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. It will probably be hand embroidered or woven. Once again, is my typical way of doing things. Then I've got, I don't know what it says, something curls. I bought this kind of thing before. It's dyed, but it's not spun yet. This was £5 for this bag. I have had some other colourways of this that I bought with Knit and Stitch, and they were really, really nice to sew onto things and make texture. So I picked up that, and she did do me a deal with this stuff. So because I got so much, she actually didn't charge me for like 2 or 3 different items. This one, I know that she gave me this one. This is the Looped Mohair, 50 grams, £7.50 originally. I just fell in love with this pinky blue colourway. As I said, I haven't decided colourway for the flat yet at all, but I think it's very clear that one of the rooms at least will have decorations with this colourway in, because I am absolutely in love with this kind of, this is the darker version of that, but I thought it would go so well together, and I love the curly texture of this. This one was £4. This is Kid Mohair Alpaca Nylon, and once again, it's the colour that got me. Absolutely gorgeous colourway here, absolutely stunning. Very soft, even though it doesn't look like it's going to be so soft. She had these packs of chenille, £5. I thought this would be really good for cross stitch finishing, which is why I picked this up. She only had it in this colourway, because otherwise I would have got other colourways, because I think chenille is such a good thing for like finishing a Christmas ornament or anything. But I could still finish ornaments, probably more Easter and spring related, but I picked up that. I also picked up, oh, I've lost one of the items. I've got so much stuff, it's all rolling away. I picked up another alpaca and extra merino, and this one was on sale for £3 for 50 grams. But I thought for green landscaping, this could be quite fun in that kind of embroidery way. And then the last pack of threads, this is mixed yarns for £4. Once again, I just love the textures. No plan whatsoever, but I do tend to find that, like with this jumper, I just dig through my box and see what takes my fancy. I quite liked how 2 of these had the golden flecks in there. And then the last thing I picked up from her is she had some different wool packs. So the first ones she had are sheets of wool. So this is one colourway I got. This was £6. £6 hand-dyed wool. And I thought I could either embroider on this, I could use it in cross-stitch finishes. I thought it was absolutely stunning, and you get a large piece. So this has got the blues and greens and that black bottom corner there. And then this other way is also absolutely stunning. Has got one side which is more orangey, one side which is blue. I kept seeing like a seaside and an autumn, but for £6 I thought that was a really good deal. And then, as I said, I could use them for cross stitch finishing, I could use them for embroidery. There's just so much you can do with it. And then she had these merino pre-felt hand dyed 4 pieces for half a metre, and these were £12. So I'm just going to pull one out and we can have a look. These are also a really decent size. So you get 4 pieces that are this kind of size. Once again, embroidery, cross stitch. I absolutely love this green part coming down. There is just so many different things you could do with this. I love this one. What does this one look like? Well, that's really pretty. I love that colorway. So there's just so many things that I could do with these. So I picked up that as well. I just thought it was such a good deal and a nice way to get some different creative pieces in my stash, because I do have a lot of like cross stitch and embroidery thread, which is what I mainly use. But sometimes you just don't want to have to count. So sometimes I want a project where I don't have to count and I don't have to be exact and things like that, which is why I've done some pieces, like I did a macrame wall hanging. If I can find a photo, I will insert a photo for you. I did a macrame wall hanging of kind of a sea, like a beach to seascape. And I absolutely loved it because it was just a little bit different. I have done quite a bit of macrame. It's something I don't really show on camera, but I could show a little bit more. I definitely want to do some more macrames. One thing about this flat is there is nowhere to hang anything at the moment, but I definitely do want to change that because I would like to have some pieces hung up. But also it's quite nice having a piece on the go where I don't have to be precise. So if I am out and about, I can have a piece in my bag that I can just pick up and stitch but not have to worry. Or if I'm doing everything wrong in cross stitch, so sometimes I have days where I'm counting and I've counted a million times and I've got it wrong and I've unstitched it and I've restitched it and I've got it wrong again, and sometimes you just need to step away from it. But I find that sometimes when I have that kind of day, whatever cross stitch I pick up is going to be the same thing. It's going to have the same issues. So I am looking forward to trying some other things that aren't cross stitch related. And I just think these are so much fun. I've loved different yarns and I would love to learn to crochet or knit. I've tried, it just really is a struggle for me. Whereas weaving and hand embroidery, I really enjoy, and I want to see what happens if I stitch this together and create a piece of fabric and then embroider over the top of it, or weave this together and embroider and have a piece to do. But I thought this was such a good deal. I've spent probably, I think I worked it out as I've spent about £90 today on new materials and a lot of snacks. I did buy an ice cream. It was so nice. I bought a mint chocolate chip ice cream. I bought, as I said, I bought the pork bun. I bought the sourdough, which I'm really looking forward to trying. I bought some sweets in the sweet shop. It was just a really, really fun day, and even though it was a small event, it was very nice to actually go and see. So I will definitely be checking it out again, probably next. I know they definitely do it next year, but I know they do some other events. Someone was telling me that there's a Christmas market event where they do a lot of hand-dyed stuff. There's a lot of wool like type things around here because this area is like there's the Fairfield Mill, which is in Sedbergh. I didn't get a chance to go to that today, so next time I go back I will definitely go and have a look. But it was really fun to go have a wander around and see. So I'm going to end this video here. Really have no idea what this video is even going to look like or if you're even going to see it. But I am hoping to bring vlogs to the channel. This is the first one I've ever filmed, so I am learning as I go. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but I'm looking forward to the challenge and looking forward to seeing what I can come up with. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, I hope you are having a wonderful day and happy stitching. Bye guys!